This is another probability distribution and expected value video. This is similar to one that was on the homework. The number of dogs per household in a small town. And with 0 dogs, there were 1,491, 1 dog, 424 households. So this was information that was given to you. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make a table just like we did in the other video that I sent to you. And the table looks almost identical. And the numbers 0 through 5 are listed under X. And the frequency is the number of households that you'll find that had dogs in it, or that the data showed. And then P of X is going to come where this is the probability, and what you do to get P of X, the probability, is you take 1,491 and divide it by this total, 2,175, and that gives you 0.686. Then you take 425, divide it by 2,175, and you get 0.195. Then you take 168, divide it by 2,175, and you get 0.077. And these are the probabilities, and here I've shown that the probability adds up to 1. Remember, all probability distributions have a total of 1. The next thing you're going to do is very similar to what we did in the last video. You're going to multiply 0 times this number, 0.686, and you'll get 0. Multiply 1 times 0.195, and you get 0.195. Multiply 2 times 0.077, and you get 0.115. When you finish with this, when you get the total, this gives you the mean. So if I round this mean off, I'm going to get 0.5. The next thing you're going to do is take each one of these values, X, and you're going to subtract the mean from it. So 0 minus 0.5, or minus 0.4, minus 0.5 is going to give you this. I don't think I rounded it off to get to this. And then you're going to say 1 minus 0.5, and you're going to get this. 2 minus 0.5 gives you this. 3 minus 0.5 gives you this, and so on. Then you square each one of those, and remember, you never have a negative in this column or this last column. So even if you get a negative, you probably just didn't type it into the calculator correctly, but there was only one negative number here anyway. And when you finish with this column, you add these up, and you're using this column to get to this last column. And this is the variance, so here's the variance. And you take the square root of it to get the standard deviation. Now if you use your calculator and you get 0.9 for the standard deviation, the way you get to the variance is you just square 0.9, and that will give you 0.81, and that's the variance. The variance doesn't show up on the calculator. Now this is what your interpretation would be. You draw this conclusion: a household on average has 0.5 dogs with a standard deviation of 0.9 dogs. Now we're ready to answer some questions, kind of like what you had on your homework. And the question said that use the probability distribution table to find the probability of randomly selecting a household that has no dogs, fewer than 2 dogs, at least 1 dog, and between 1 and 3 dogs. Well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use this column, the X column, and the P of X column, and I'm going to make a frequency distribution table, a probability distribution table, so that you can see it easier. So 0 dogs would be 0.686. Less than 2 dogs would be 1 dog and 0 dogs, and if you add those together, you're going to get 0.881. Greater than 1 dog would be everything except the 0, so I can subtract 1 minus 0.686, and I'll get this. I also showed you another variety of that there. And then the last one, between 1 and 3 dogs, so you're going to